I will comment just quickly on the colleges and universities. It's a shame. I'm so proud of the New York's finest. They're great people too. I know so many of them. They're incredible. They did a job at Columbia, and likewise in Los Angeles, they did a really good job at UCLA. It was very much embedded. And just so you understand, this is the radical left. This is a movement from the left, not from the right.
Donald Trump talking to reporters just moments ago, and with us now is Senator Marco Rubio, and it's great to have you here for your perspective. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Senator, one of the things that is just, as we mentioned to Byron York a moment ago, it's just baffling that President Biden hasn't said anything himself. You know him, you know politics, you know Donald Trump, you know there's a campaign going on. What do you think is going on here?
Two things. First, I think they don't have a lot of confidence in his ability to communicate. I really do, and that's a problem, because one of the key jobs of a president in a moment like this is to go before the nation, explain what's happening, put it in context. And I don't think they have a lot of confidence that he has the ability to do that. They're afraid of what might happen. And the second is there are elements of his base, and he knows it. There are elements of his activist base, not just in Michigan, but in the Democratic Party, donors and the like, who sympathize with what these protesters are about. So what you have now is a complete breakdown of law and order. You have hundreds of thousands of American students who can't go back on campus, who feel threatened, who in the middle of finals are being disrupted, who paid a lot of money to go to these schools because a few thousand anti-Semitic zombies who have been brainwashed by 2 decades of indoctrination and the belief that the world is divided between victimizers and victimizers and victims, and that the victimizers in this particular case, the ones that are oppressing people, are Jews in Israel. These people are out there disrupting all this. It's a complete breakdown of law and order, and the president's not doing anything about it, and the left is caught in this vice now.
So speaking of that, here's the mayor in New York City, Eric Adams, yesterday. He took a position on this, outside agitators and more. I want to play this for you, ask a very specific question next. Watch here.
I know that there are those who are attempting to say, well, the majority of people may have been students. You don't have to be the majority to influence and co-op an operation. That is what this is about. And so if we want to play the word police, you could do so. I want to play the New York City police.
Okay. You've got that, and then you've got these agitators. Now, there's a piece in Politico suggesting that they have not provided enough proof about agitators coming in, citing 2 examples at Columbia. Where do you go when you're trying to figure out who is exerting the influence, Senator? Is it on the agitators who go in there and get the students all riled up? Or should the area of focus here shift to the students themselves? Look, we've been watching students be dragged out of this quad at UCLA for hours. I think they were all just about 19, 20, 21 years old. Dana, would you agree with that? I think I saw one woman in there. She looked to be maybe an African-American professor, didn't want her face to be shown. But for the most part, they were students who attend that school, whether undergrad or grad school. So where do we go on this?
Well, the arrest reports will tell us something, but remember, professional agitators are people that are experts in not getting caught. They know how to structure this, and then they're the first ones when the police say it's time to go, they leave. They come back and do it again. I think the other thing that we need to ask is, plywood. I see a bunch of plywood set up. That stuff's expensive. Trust me, it's expensive. People go at Home Depot, try to buy some plywood. You'll see how much it costs. Someone is providing funds. This is not some organic movement, and I think they've picked key areas. It's not a coincidence that we're seeing the 2 ugliest demonstrations in New York and in LA, big metropolitan areas where you can, sort of meld into all of it. But the students have to be responsible for this. It's important to point out these students, even if you said everybody in those protests and everybody in these, they're not protests, and these riots and these mobs are students. Even if all of them were, it's a small percentage of the student body, but they're disrupting it for everybody else. But I do think, to go back to what the mayor said, look, and I think they did a great job, the NYPD. I think a great job by police in California as well, and we thank them for stepping in the line of duty on that regard. But you cannot be in favor of this DEI stuff, which basically teaches that the world is about victims and oppressors along racial, gender, and ethnic lines, because eventually, depending on the issue, you will be put into the oppressor class. And that's what's happened here. The irony of it is that 0.2% of the world's population, which is what Jews represent, the most oppressed minority group in the history of the world, is suddenly an imperial power, about colonialism and empire building, and that they're white settlers in the Middle East. That's how absurd this is, but it eventually comes for you, and that's what's happened now in this regard, and the left is facing this Frankenstein monster they've helped create through 20 years of indoctrination and brainwashing.
Senator Marco Rubio, thank you for joining us today on a busy day.
Appreciate
we're talking
that.
politics, we're talking court, the president, and of course the Senate. Thank you. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Speak again.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.